Thank you for all joining. I'm so glad to be your host tonight. And while I'm shuffling the cards, I'd like to remind you guys that if you do want to have a private reading with me, you can always purchase one at www.tarotpredictions.net. And as soon as the purchase goes through, which will usually take a minute to a couple of minutes, we are going to schedule a convenient time for both of us. So let me shuffle now, and we're starting with Aries first. 5 card spread, guys, as per usual, because it does gives a good results. The 5 card moon spread. If you find these videos helpful, please, if you can, share them so they can help to more people. Okay, so for Aries, the first card, which is going to represent the topic of the full moon, is the Page of Swords. The second card, which is going to represent the struggle here, that will be the Justice. The third card, which represents the benefits, or kind of like the intentions which needs to be set in front of us, that will be the Three of Cups. The fourth card represents the lesson we need to learn, that will be the Hangman. And the fifth card, which represents the energies that are going to help us, this is the Tower card. Now guys, Aries is looking at those 5 cards. I could tell is that this is how it's gonna go. During these 2 weeks there will be an adversary at your turf, and someone is going to sabotage your work, especially if we're talking about your career. Someone will talk behind your back. Someone will bring things to either your boss or your colleagues, your supervisors, behind your back, trying to put you into a bad position, bad situation, bad spot. Now the problem here is that if you don't address the issue, they are going to get away with it. Unfortunately, this is what basically the card says. So you need to be kind of like a very careful whom you're placing your trust at, as well as that you shouldn't kind of share, how can I place it in words? I mean, share sensitive information from your past, share sensitive spots from your past. Now, the lesson in the energies here kind of contributes well with one another. The energy says that you are going to survive that without much tantrum and without much turmoil. I mean, you will be able to manage and mitigate whatever this person is, trying to pull out against you. About the lesson, it will be rather a little bit more harsh. The lesson for you, Aries, will be that you basically, there are situations in your life that you can't do anything about it, and it is best for you to make a peace with it. What I mean is that you just leave it as it is and move on from there. So Aries says that will be, as I said, a rather tough period of time for you guys, and the advice that I have for you is that you need to be rather careful and meticulous about the decisions you make, excuse me, according for your personal things and for how you will interact with the world and with your environment. Another thing with these cards, guys, about a relationship. Now, these cards for relationship have a little bit different interpretation, as we do have the Tower card assisting you. These cards are showing that there will be a foreseen situation, or kind of like a glance outside of the box from either you and your partner, and a certain agreements or kind of like arrangements will be made, which means that none of you will be left misunderstood during the situation. Because if there are difficulties right now in your relationship, probably it's because one doesn't want to understand the other, or vice versa, and that's why the difficulties are happening. These cards are showing that rather one is going to put some efforts to understand the others, or the other, although it doesn't mean that they are going to submit to the other's points of view. They won't going to submit to the other's point of view, but at least they're going to make an effort to make a certain compromise. So for your relationship, basically that is going to be what moves on into this moon cycle. The majority will experience it, however, into their career. Be very vigilant for the adversary in your turf, guys. It is this person, most likely a woman, a little bit younger than you are. She's just has no remorse, you know, and she's trying to make dividends on your back for your account. Okay, so now we will shuffle and we can go to Taurus. Hi Vanessa, I'm just starting. Haven't done Sagittarius yet. We are a Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, the topic of your full moon, that will be the Two of Wands, with the struggle here is the Three of Pentacles. So for what does it seem? You ain't going to lack any opportunities. The problem is the execution, guys, or the structure of how you push your things forward. Now the third one is the aims. That will be the the Ten of Cups, excuse me, and the lesson you need to learn, it will be the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, and the energies that are going to be the Page of Pentacles. So guys, let's leave these two aside for now, and let's focus on these three, which are the practical cards. So these three, like I said, shows that you will not lack any opportunities moving on into this moon cycle. The problem, as I said, is going to be the initiation, or rather like involving different people into them. So you will not gonna need help, but you will need different perspective and different opinions, especially people which can give you actually feedbacks, people that can teach you onto something, will be very valuable into your situation. Talking about your career, guys, these cards are showing that you have to kind of like boost your performance if you can. I mean, you need to perform better than what you're performing right now. Certain opportunities to do that will be presented to you. The problem, I have to be fair with you, the problem will be the laziness. And basically, how can I press in words here? Don't get me wrong, Tauruses, whatever you choose to overlook, or whatever you choose not to take under your consideration and under your account, you will be happy with what is left there. The thing is that these cards are rather warning you that you can be better, you can do better, and you can get more from what you're getting right now during this next moon cycle. Which means, guys, that you have to start exploring your possibilities here. You need to start counting your blessing. You need to start glancing upon different fields which you haven't conquered yet. Two of Wands, it's a typical card where one realizes its full potential, and one realizes that they can actually be, as I said, better and more productive. And this is what you're going to realize in certain areas in your life, like, you know, relationship and career, which are the most common areas in one life. But how much you can invest into that, now that depends entirely on you. And as I said, spending on resources, spending on from your time, spending from your efforts is not going to be the first priority at your behalf. That's why you will be happy with your ongoing current achievements and you know, income, if you want to say it that way, or rewards. But the lesson you need to learn here, guys, why I said that you don't need help is because that's the lesson. With the Nine of Pentacles, the lesson is that you can perform much better when you're cope with your difficulties alone. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should not take under consideration any advices or any constructive feedbacks. That's why you have to listen to those which have more experience than you do, obviously, into your career and into your relationship as well. But at the end, the final word needs to be yours. I mean, the final decision needs to be yours. And this card also, sometimes it's kind of like a reminder that there is, regardless of how skilled you are, regardless of how much you know, there is always someone which is better. There is always someone which knows more. This is a fundament in our lives. I mean, regardless of how good you are, there is always someone better, and regardless of how bad you are at what you're doing, there is always someone that performs worse. That's why, guys, you need to be kind of like objective for your place where you stand in your career and in your relationship. Now, relationship wise, these cards are rather very positive. They do look like you, despite of usual disagreements, you know, despite of the rough time you may had in the previous couple of days or a week, uh, this full moon is going to go under the sign of intimacy and under the sign of romance. Is because you and your partner will try to bury the tomahawks, excuse me, and try to make something good happening out of your relationship. The energies that we do have, that will be the Page of Pentacles. And this card as an energy shows kind of like a very well calculated investment. It does shows that you will be able to scope and determine exactly in one situation how much needs to be invested. And that's why in some situations, Tauruses, you may decide not to invest at all. It is because it may seem that you have to invest quite a lot, and you're not willing to do so. Obvious. Relationship wise, this card as an energy shows that a newfound emotions in between you and your partner are going to emerge, and this is why probably you guys, we are going to try not to pay attention to the disagreements and the arguments you do have into your relationship, but rather pay attention to how much intimacy you can give to one another. Okay, so let me now shuffle and we can go to Gemini. The Empress covers the topic for Gemini, and the things they need to deal with are the Queen of Wands. Then we do have the intentions here, that is the Death card. Guys, this is about a detachment from a relative or a mentor, for what it seems. I mean, this is about realization that you are already good enough on your own, so you can take your own direction and your own decision. It could be also detachment from a relationship, or for an unhealthy connection in your job. However, the lesson you need to learn is definitely a detachment now, for what I can see with the Ten of Swords. And you will basically have to let that person go. Not because not because you want it, not because that person wants it, but because you need it. Okay, you need to improve on your own personal accord, guys. So again, that should be a mentor, if that is about your career, someone who is helping you, someone who is monitoring you, someone who you know, is telling you what to do so you can reach your own personal benefit. You basically need to let that person go, so you can now start calling your own personal shots, and you can actually say when you do have an achievement that this achievement is, and rewards, of course, that these achievements and rewards are reached because you did it, but not because someone else pointed you the direction. And then we do have the energy card. That will be the Judgment. And guys, as a detachment, this detachment as ultimate goal here with these 5 cards is to make you feel better, is to make you feel comfortable. It is to make you define and build your own your own place, your own territory, your own turf. So you know, you can create something in this world. What is important here, however, before you do so, before you reach out for that particular detachment, guys, you need to be very aware what you're gonna do next. That being said, you kind of need, at least at the start of this period of time, which is 2 weeks. You know, you need to make a certain detachment, and that detachment should be made, you know, from the midst of activity that involve you and that particular mentor or a helpful advisor, you know, counselor or something like this. And you can try to figure things on your own. It's basically what you will do. And as soon as you start making any progress with the analyzations, you know, with the plans that you do, you're gonna start feeling way more comfortable than you're usually feeling when this person is guiding you. And this is where you will get the insight. I don't need to be attached anymore. You know, I can go on my own and actually achieve even greater things. Not to mention that if you stay, you have to also share the rewards. But definitely, guys, as we do have the death card coming in as an intentions, you need to make a certain difference and you need to make a certain change in your life. That usually involves burning on bridges, and it should be with this person here. I mean, they're gonna put quite a fight for staying with you. They probably will say you're not ready, you're not skilled enough, you don't know anything, and these kind of things. But they are wrong, basically. They are wrong because they cannot bear the thought that someone basically is, cut them loose, because usually they are the people who cut loose on others. And right now, this is like a cold slam in their face, and they cannot accept it basically without a fight. Now, talking about relationship with these cards, lover, as I saw in the comments, yeah, it could be, but no, I think that this goes beyond that. This doesn't concern cutting loose a lover. It does concern cutting loose someone that has exterior influence upon the relationship, someone like mother or an aunt, you know, someone that, or a very good friend, something like someone which is whispering in either one of you's ears, and it's basically having an exterior influence upon the relationship. Because these cards are rather favorable staying into one relationship, rather favorable for making it more comfortable than usual, for making it a such state that you both can have a tremendous amount of pleasure being in such a relationship. Now, what else it is very important to be said is that the chance of pregnancy is quite high here, as we do have the Empress and the Death as they are showing, guys, a big change toward comfort, toward stability. And when you combine those two cards, they're usually a sign for a long-lasting, long-term change. You know, a change that will force a long-term comfort, and that very well could be an appearance of a kid. Now, Ten of Swords is the lesson you need to learn, and I can imagine that card coming only in this way: that if you want to cut the dead meat, you have to also cut some of the living flesh around the dead meat. That being said, in order to make that kind of detachment, guys, which I talked previously, you probably need to be agreed to make certain sacrifices which are gonna come there to you. But the more you think about it, the more you will realize that this is a necessary evil. So it's about you realizing that sometimes there is a necessary evil which needs to happen so everybody can live better afterwards. And the energies here with the Judgment card, this is a card showing that these energies are going to guide you. That's our guidance energies. These are energies pointing you the way. So what we can see here for you, Gemini, is that a person no longer will point your way, but instead the universe itself is going to point your way for moving forward. And this is how naturally should happen, guys. So yeah, it does look like Gemini are going to have their freedom in the next couple of days. I mean, they're going to breathe with ease, and they're going to have their leash loosed around their necks. Okay, so now let's see what awaits Cancer. So the topic is the King of Cups. The struggle that will be the Ace of Swords. It's a confession that is going to be a struggle for you guys. And the intentions are the Devil. Now does look like fully romantically orientated reading. And I want to say with these three cards, those which are single souls, and most likely they do have something in their mind. I mean, they have their attention fixed upon something, upon someone, excuse me, and you gotta make them aware that you do have an interest. Basically, that's what these cards are pointing, because your enthralling will keep on going and you will not be able to make the detachment which Gemini will be able to do right now. Uh, the lesson you need to learn, well, that's pretty obvious. This is the Two of Cups, and that speaks that the love needs to go above everything else. Because at the end of the day, guys, look at it from that point of perspective. If you ask for it, and even if you have been denied, at least you will know, and you ain't gonna waste any more time. So this reading rather affects mostly those which are single or those which love interest doesn't lie into their relationship. You have to make it obvious, guys, and you need to share it with the world. You need to share it with those which you want to make a relationship with. It is because even if they don't show it here with the King of Cups, probably they also have something for you. And it's not probably, but most likely they do have something for you. I mean, this person here marked by the King of Cups, it is someone capable of very deep feelings. Now the problem is, or kind of like the issue is, that they are not willing to show those feelings unless they are not secure that those feelings are going to be returned back. In other words, they are going to be answered. So the energy is for you. It's again the Judgment card, and that will be a very significant, I cannot change, but shift of directions in your life, because these energies are going to show you, kind of like pull you out from something which you are wasting your time with, and put you into something else which is going to make your time productive. So looking at these cards, guys, again, from completely a relationship side perspective, is that you need to be true to your emotions, to your feelings, and to your interests as well, and make your demands. Okay, you just go to the person that you like and just tell them that. And if you don't like your partner, for example, anymore, you don't feel anything for them, you do the same thing. The point is, Cancers, is that you need to make yourself comfortable and you need to make yourself loved. I mean, you need to be true to your emotions. Now, talking about career with these cards, however, they are showing that you are not using your full authority into your career, guys. I mean, you can make people do things for what it seems, or kind of like influence people stronger than what your influence is right now, and that influence are going to help not just you, but it's going to help also the company you're working at. It's just the problem here, what will stand, is that you will not want to address that that capability of yours, of that skill of yours, to have an influence upon others. And you need to do it, and you need to start using your influence, of course, if you don't want someone else to use your influence, because as I said, energy doesn't lose itself. If you don't use influence, someone else is going to. Now the thing is that you will have control when you start using your own influence upon this situation into your career. The lesson you need to learn, however, here with the Two of Cups, as we talk about career, Cancer, is that the influence should be used only to make the atmosphere in your career more harmonious. So that influence, guys, needs to be used not to make people, not to oppress people, not to make them feel miserable or to threaten them, but you need to use that influence in order to consolidate the team, in order to make the team work together, in order to make everybody work together, and to resolve misunderstandings, issues, and this kind of stuff. In other words, you need to use your influence, guys, to make your working place a better place. And the energies are, for regarding career wise, with the Judgment card, shows that it is very broad. Actually, the meaning of this card coming up as a career energy, it does shows, guys, that through making all these things, I mean using your influences, you are going to reach a big insight. I mean that insight will be given to you. And also Judgment as an energy in that case does shows that you will be able to react properly on a certain provocations, and not just provocation, but at the right time and in the right and at the right place, you will know what to do. So basically, it is kind of like you are rather protected from making stupid claims, from making bad decisions, and you know, from abusing your authority as well. Okay, so now let me shuffle and let's see what Leo have for the full moon. The topic of your full moon period of time, Leo, is going to be the Hermit. And the problem here, the things that you need to go against, that will be, or kind of you need to cope with, that will be the Ten of Cups, and your intention should be the Five of Wands. Then we do have the Lessons, and that will be the Justice. And then the next one is going to be the Energies. That will be the Hangman. Wow, a hell of a reading. Basically, these 5 cards are showing Leos that in the next couple of weeks you're gonna learn the hard way that you cannot fight fate. It is impossible. Whatever is meant for you to happen, regardless of how much effort you put in order to avoid it, is going to happen, guys. There is no question about it. Now, these 3 first are showing that into your career and into your relationship, there will be a rather unpleasant process happening. And they will be unpleasant because you will have no control upon them. I mean, they're just going to happen, and you will have to stay, unfortunately, on the bench and just look how the things are unfolding. And you will have to be the one that aligns, rather than you need to be. You will be the one to dictate the rules here. Now, Five of Wands, however, it does dictate that you need to be very agile, and you need to be the one who is, how can I place in words here, who is very adaptable to change, who is very receptive to change, and it is willing to make certain rearrangements into their life of how they make things, how they do things as well. There will be no tantrums or turmoils into your relationship. The problem will be that you may start feeling a little bit more distance in between you and your partner. It's kind of like they will withdraw for a while, or you will want, or you will have that urge to make a withdrawal, so you can actually find out what exactly makes you happy. And it is usual when it is normal. I mean, when usually someone wants a little bit of time on their own, so they can, you know, they can actually sense the absence of the other. And so if you want to say at least that you can see if you miss that person or not. I mean, regarding your career, these cards are a sign that something rather major is going to happen. And as a major, I mean is that you have waited it for quite a long time ago. But right now, because of exterior things which are going on, rather you don't have time for it, or it's kind of like you cannot see the same magnitude of a reason behind it as before, and that may make you unwilling to invest into it. However, you have to. It is because it is a quite of a good perspective here for what we can say. Also, it is a long-term perspective, guys. It is a perspective toward a long-term prosperity. The and actually, it could be a game savior with the hermit here. That is, you need to accept that that perspective, which is appearing into your career in the next couple of weeks, it is for you the light at the end of the tunnel, and you gotta take it regardless of your excuses, because you will be able to make a lot of excuses not to take it. One of them is that you have a bazillion other things to work upon and you don't want to take that additional responsibility, but you have to. So let's go to the lesson you need to learn here, guys. That will be the Justice card, and the lesson is that everybody at the end gets what they what they deserve. No one can escape the karma they're they're building up. And I'm not talking about karma from your past life. I'm talking about karma that you have built, or the people around you built in the past couple of weeks, or in the next couple of in the past couple of years, excuse me. And right now in this full moon cycle, all of this is gonna come back to them, and no one will be able to escape the justice of the universe, the justice of fate. So I can suggest you don't struggle, okay? In your relationship, I mean, things which can happen, they will be rather, as I said, unpleasant, and you will not see much sense into it. But as I said, guys, you need to accept it as, if you want to say that way, punishment, redemption, serving your time or whatever, and move on with it. But at the same time, you need to be open for surprises. In the same time, you need to be open to make certain. It's not even compromises, guys. It's about exceptions. You need to be open to make certain exceptions. Now, last card, that will be the energies for you, Leo, and we do have the Hangman here. The Hangman says that, let's say that way, you are going to be protected from anything bad happening to you which you want to happen to you. That's a little bit difficult to explain. Let's give you an example with that. Let's say that you are a solo, you are alone, single, lonely, and you have that person that you really want to be with, but things aren't happening for you regardless of the circumstances. And maybe a month or two from now, you will find out that this person is a psychopath, and you will say, thank God nothing happened. I have my guardian angel behind me. So it's kind of like this is what the energies are going to favor you. I mean, they are going to block any kind of noxious and harmful circumstances and achievements to happen to you, despite of your willingness to chase them or not. Is because, for what does it seems, your perspective, or rather your judgment, is not going to be very accurate toward these kind of agendas. Okay, so next one, that will be Virgo. Let me shuffle, guys. Oh no, I'm sorry to say it that way, guys. It may sound rude, but if you want sugarcoating, if you want things to be said in a gentle way, where your losses will be diminished and these kind of stuff, this isn't the channel you need to be at. I'm sorry to say it, but I don't like to bullshit. I don't like to twist. I just say the things as they are. I just say what I see in the cards, and that's that. If this is gonna like to some or not, that's their problem. Okay, so for a Virgo, Ten of Pentacles is going to be the topic of your team. The topic of your team. Bullshit. It's the full moon in Aries. So the topic. The difficulty, that is very peculiar, guys, because we do have the Nine of Pentacles. And I probably will need a second to figure out what those two wants to tell me. Then we do have the... now I know. Now we do have the intentions. That will be the Six of Cups. So the lesson you need to learn, Virgo, that will be the King of Wands. And the energies you do have are the Page of Pentacles. So now let's go to the first two. To the first three, excuse me. So first things first, what you're going to have is very productive couple of weeks moving on forward. I do remember that the week reading for you, Virgo, was really rather unpleasant, and it was really, for some, came devastating, but it does look like that things are gonna get better here with the Ten of Pentacles. That card shows comfort. That card shows very well made investments, either investing yourself into a relationship, either investing your money, either basically whatever you invest in is gonna happen. Ten of Pentacles also is a card showing, guys, that you will stop being dependent of something or of someone. Why this came to my mind right now, I mean, it's a very good time if you are using any kind of drug or medication by a prescription, like, you know, opioids and this kind of stuff. That will be a very good period of time for you to make it to make the break, to sober yourself, because your sobriety should be at the very top of your priority list. Now Virgos, as I said, sobriety, you need to have a sobriety about your relationship, and you need to have sobriety about your career. That being said, guys, into your career, for what it seems, you are kind of like constrained into a certain, with these three cards, you are constrained into a certain channel or a funnel, and basically you for right now you cannot unfold maximum potential of yourself. And in order to do so, as I said, guys, you need to reach a certain personal independence, or independence from some people or from some resources. Now, what is important, however, is the Nine of Pentacles. This card, as a struggle, it does speak that it will be hard to initiate on your own, okay? Because, well, how can I place it in words? Because you will lack the stimul others give you. You will lack the encouragement that you are usually used to get. You know, you will lack the slam on your or the petting on your shoulder saying good job. And I mean, and if it isn't there anybody to applaud you, well, why you shouldn't give, you know, 100% maximum of yourself? Why you should try to shine if there will be no one there watching? Well, you will see why, guys. I mean, it's just for your personal satisfaction. One important thing is here. I hope that it makes sense to the most of you. With these three cards, the only thing I'm going to say about them right now is that, guys, you need to connect the past with the present so you can give it meaning for its future. Which means, at least to me, I hope that it does make sense to most of you. It is just a message I just get from the cards. To me, it means that there was something in the past which was overlooked and which is very important for a rather favorable unfoldment for your future. And you have to try to dig it back into your past and realize where you could not kind of like contribute to your maximum in, so you can kind of like, you know, have a second chance or repair that error or whatever. Most likely, guys, that will be if you do have children's, most likely it is about your children. I mean that they are holding you guilty for something, and now this 2 weeks period of time is the time where you actually stripped or kind of scrape the blame of you by showing rather, you know, satisfiable proof that you haven't done anything wrong. Now, guys, the lesson you have to learn here, Virgo, that will be the King of Wands, and this card shows that the positive attitude, it's above everything else right now. It is very important, it's very vital, not only to feel yourself happy or to feel yourself content, but also for the performance of your work. I mean, the one who has positive attitude, it is likely to perform twice as better than the one who is skeptical about the results. That's why, guys, positive thinking, it is what you are going to learn how to be done here in the next couple of weeks. And the energies, that will be the Page of Pentacles, and you will not lack a devotion, okay? You will, basically those energies are going to keep you very attached to your things, especially to your investments. As I said, investing your time into a relationship, or investing your money into a private business, or even a gambling, if you want to say it that way. But also it could be investing your efforts into your career. The energies are going to attach you to those investments, and you will have complete control upon them, and you will be able to dictate the direction of where those investments are going. Okay, so now let me shuffle and we can go to Libra next couple of weeks. Yeah, it does look like it. Okay, Libras. Four of Cups marks the topic of the next couple of weeks of the full moon period of time. Then the things you will struggle with, that will be the Six of Cups, guys. Remnants of the past are coming in, which you cannot leave unattended, for what I can see here. Your intentions, the Magician. The lesson you need to learn, that will be Three of Pentacles, and the energies, that will be the Knights of Cups. So it's all about the hard work for you, Virgo. I mean, this is a month of not months, excuse me, what I'm talking about, this is a period of time, 2 weeks of reassessment of your previous actions, of your past actions, because you will reach, let's say, an insight either into your career or into your relationship, Libras. Did I say Virgo? I'm sorry, this is Libra that I'm talking about. Yeah, it's Libra. So you're about to reach an insight of a certain maneuvers or kind of actions or even words spoken that they were wrong. I mean, you shouldn't do that. But the thing is that what is done, and right now you need to make a certain contemplation into how you can, how you can make up for it, and that will be the difficulty. You finding the right measures to make it up for. for whatever you may. I mean, you could have been rude to your partner in your relationship, or you could have been not as responsible as you should have been into your career, or it's simply you could have hide something from somebody. The varieties of what you had to do in the past but you didn't are numerous, which means that that will differ for every single one of you. But that's not the point here. The point, guys, is that the more the time passes in the next couple of weeks, the more you will realize that you should have not done that. Okay, you should have been smarter, you should have been more sober, and you should have been rather more you should have not implanted as much agitation as you have, or shown as much agitation as you have shown in the past. And this is why you are finding yourself in that situation right now, no-go situation. Now it is important here to be noticed about the career is that these cards are showing, guys, that there is no more unfoldment into your career, or at least into the current position into your career. You need to make a different step here. I mean, you need to start thinking about changing your job. That is very important. And the difficulty here will be the choice of what kind of company or what kind of career path you should take next, because neither of them are going to seem suitable for you. The answer here lies into the Magician card. The answer here lies into acquiring a new set of skills, new qualification, new knowledge. It is important also to be noted about relationship with these cards that communication is the key. If you are not speaking with your partner, let's say, if you're not speaking with your ex-boyfriend, but you still have feelings for them, or you realize that you wasn't fair in the past, or for numerous reasons, Libra, you need to maintain or regain back communications, because that will be vital for you to make the things right this time. The lesson you need to learn is the Three of Pentacles, and the first thing that comes into my mind with this card is that everything deserves to be examined on a second view, So one thing is that it didn't work out in the past, but who knows right now what is going to happen. So it's kind of like a second chance, but not exactly, because second chance means to start over again. This isn't about starting over, this isn't about trying anew, you know what I mean? So picking up from where you left it in the past and developing it to its very end. And you are going to realize that this comes from a rather critics from either your partner or your friends or your family, if you want to say that way, co-workers, you name it. It's just people will not be happy that you have left things unfinished in the past, and either into your career, into your relationship. And the energies here are actually rather positive with the Knights of Cups. The energies are showing that luck has nothing to do with how the things are going to happen for you in the next couple of weeks, guys. Only the things that is going to matter for you in the next couple of weeks. The only thing that is going to alter your outcome and your income, of course, is how much work you're willing to put in, how determined and how much devotion you do have to make the things right, to make the things work. This is the only thing that is going to determine at the end of the day, is it going to work out or is it not going to work out? I mean, if you are if you have reserves, if you don't want to put what is needed to, then obviously it's not going to work. But if you do work hard, guys, if you do realize what you have done wrong, and if you do have the willingness and you take the actions to fix that, to kind of like make up with it, then the things are going to happen for you, either into your career or into your relationship. Now, let me shuffle again. And we're going to Scorpio. By the way, Jupiter is entering into Scorpio, guys. Can you start sensing how the luck increases? Can you sensing now how things are actually starting to happen for us? It's an year and what, a month, or it's an year and 2 months period of time for us, and we have to make it count. Okay, so my kin, my brethren, we got the world as the topic and the theme of our full moon. And then the things we need to have difficulties with, or kind of like we need to work to overcome, that would be the Three of Wands. And then we do have the Magician as our intentions. And then we do have the King of Cups as the lesson we need to learn. And then we do have as the energy the Hangman. So very nice energies, as they were explained to Gemini. I think Gemini had them, but generally Scorpio, this 2 weeks period of time will be all about endings and beginnings. Okay, your old life ends and your new life starts thriving, it starts flourishing. Okay, the only problem for you, it will be what direction this should be. As I mentioned, any direction is an option for you from now on, guys, in the next year and something. Okay, you have to make it up on your mind. Should your direction have to be your career? Should the direction needs to be your relationship, or both? It could be also or both. And this is the thing. I mean, you need to find it for yourself. You need to determine it for yourself and make the first step for it. Very crucial period of time, guys. As I said, important cycle of your life ends, and where to right now? I mean, you need to find your new perspective here, Scorpio. Talking about your work with these cards, it is rather very favorable and very positive. It favors people like me, for example, because the Magician says that we are going to win faithful and committed followers. If you are doing, however, ordinary job, these cards are showing that things are going to start happening with ease for you. I mean, you don't even have to kind of like sweat to start making progress into your projects, and that will amuse you actually, and it's going to surprise you pleasantly, Scorpio. And from there, it is where it comes the lifting of your personal standards of performance, guys. So yeah, I'm Scorpio, Sunny. So that being said, it is very important for us Scorpios, especially coming into career, is to not hold back our knowledge and our skills, you know, because for our skills in this period of time that is coming, guys, we will have the opportunity to show them. Okay, so let's say that you are a writer, or you can write, Scorpio, but right now you're just working as a, I don't know, a coffee seller. Well, it is time for you to write your first manuscript. Okay, if you are good in in selling, but right now you are working as a in a call center. Well, it is time as a support. Well, it's time for you to try yourself on the stock market. I'm talking about that thing, guys. One thing ends, another thing starts. And what starts for you, Scorpio, it's much more beautiful and pleasant and productive and everything as a plus than what has ended right now. Also, here with the Three of Wands, it is very important, guys, as a card of negativity. It is very important that we add variety to our routine. We should not stick to the ongoing patterns in our life, which means that we need to lift our expectations. We need to lift our standards. In other words, you need to seek for better job. You need to seek for a better person if you have just broke up into your relationship. And you need to seek for better friends. You need to seek for a better place to live, if you want to say it that way, because our time is coming, guys, and it will be very, very positive period. Not just these 2 weeks. I mean, this reading is for the 2 weeks that are coming, but also the period where Jupiter is in Scorpio. The more planets you do have in Scorpio, the more beneficial you are going to be. Now the lesson we need to learn is King of Pentacles. 2 ways to interpret the cards. That card. If we're talking about your career, people does not need your commiserations. People does not need your sympathies. People doesn't need your passion or compassion, guys. People need only your professionalism. So do your job. I mean, if you can add something to the job, that's great. I mean, you will be rewarded for it, but no one cares what you think. Okay, no one cares what you think for them. No one cares what you think for someone else's project. Just keep those thoughts and those emotions for yourself and focus on your own things. If you can give sound advice, yeah, but critics is something you shouldn't do, and you're going to learn that in this 2 weeks period of time. You're going to learn that you need to mind your own business. And as I explained here with the energies, you will have like a shield, like scutum. Scutum is a divine shield, guys, which are going to actually bounce back any kind of so-called chances which are going to end up, which are going to lead you toward a disaster, toward a precipitous slope. And you're going to end up in a rather disfavorable situation. So even if on that note, I can say that you shouldn't sob for anything that could not happen in the next couple of weeks, guys. It is because if it happened, okay, you would have seen that actually in reality you aren't winning anything here. You're losing things, guys, and you're losing big time. So as I said, you will be grateful that it didn't happen. Now let me shuffle again, and we are going to Sagittarius. So your topic, Sagittarius, that will be the justice and the things you need to go against or kind of like struggle with. That will be the Moon card. Then we do have your intentions. That will be the Six of Pentacles. And the lesson you will learn, that will be the Three of Pentacles. The energies, we do have the Hierophant card. So let's take a look at these three first. The topic, it's very trivial. The topic is about reaping the fruits of your labor, or it's about a labor that is going to give accordingly fruits after in the future. Either way, talking about your relationship. No, let's start with the career first, okay? Talking about your career here with these three cards, guys, you need to kind of like take a little bit of a break. And as I said, a little bit of a break. This is about a couple of days, so you can rearrange, reprioritize your investments and your agendas, because with these cards it is obvious that you kind of like could have been more productive if you manage your time better, if you manage your efforts better, and if you manage your resources better. Especially talking about private business with these cards, guys, there is a danger that you may invest into rather futile project. Okay, now the problem here that you need to struggle with, it is nothing practical. There will be no practical backlash of your actions. Actually, the only problem that you're going to struggle with is that you will not be able actually right now in these couple of weeks to see the fruits of your labor. Okay, and that is going to make you nervous, that is going to make you agitated, and it's going to make you feel like you have wasted your time, but in reality you haven't. What is important here as an intentions, guys, is to try first to reach your goal on your own, rather than to ask someone to lay a hand on you, to give you a hand, excuse me. Okay, so you shouldn't count, well, you can count on other people, but you shouldn't at this very moment. So in that kind of sense, with these three cards, you should not find yourself as the beggar here, okay? Because the beggars are those who are asking for help. You need to be the man with the authority and be the one that actually shows that they can achieve something on their own. That, as far as it goes into your career. Now, relationship wise, these cards are showing that you need to aim for make your relationship a little bit more mature, in a sense that unfortunately in this 2 weeks period of time, guys, the love and the intimacy, the gentleness, if you want to say it that way, needs to go on the back seat here. Now, this 2 weeks period of time, you as a couple need to establish different foundation, and you need to establish a common benefits into your relationship, because this is going to play a crucial role in your future. I mean, you need to start realizing what this person that you are with, or what your partner, how your partner actually can benefit and can improve your future. I mean, what they have to give into that relationship, so the relationship can progress. Because at a certain stage, love isn't enough. I mean, it's just, if you want to have a family, for example, you cannot be jobless, or they cannot be jobless, or you cannot be without a house, and these kind of stuff. I mean, these things do matter, and love, intimacy, and gentleness doesn't have anything to do with these. Okay, so that being said, you guys needs to see the things into your relationship rather from the material perspective this time. However, if you don't see any material reason why you are with this person, you have to allow them to kind of like change that, which means that, because with the Six of Pentacles here, it does look like that they will do something about it, but you need to address the issue. I mean, you need to say, for example, if you love that person, but they're kind of like jobless, they're wasting their time and these kind of stuff, I mean, you can say, you know, I love you, but if you think that this is how it's gonna go from now on, I mean, this is how we're gonna spend our lives together, or you are dead wrong. And if you want me next to you, you gotta do something about it. I mean, you need to do something with your life, and that has to be the approach. But you need to give them a chance, you know, going for the relationship. And this is the the lesson that you are about to learn here, guys, is that first of all, everybody deserves a second chance, and second of all, critics and being harsh upon people does wonders into your situations. So being harsh into your career and being harsh into your relationship actually is going to wake up the mind of these people, and are going to make them think about that if they don't do something about it, they are going to basically lose you. And the energies that we do have, this is the Hierophant card. These energies are very in order energies. These energies are energies showing you, or kind of like dragging you, flowing you in a way where everything happens naturally, and everything happens according to your understanding and according to your expectations. So for what does it seem, Sagittarius, your career and your relationship, it is likely to go the way you have planned. I hope that your plans are rather with high aims, because high aims can be achieved during this 2 weeks period of time. It is just you gotta do it, that guys, on your own. Okay. Now the next one, that will be Capricorn. Let me shuffle. So for Capricorn's, Three of Swords is the first card you got. That will cover the topic. Now the second one, that will be the Queen of Pentacles, which covers the struggle. Then we do have the intentions, and that is the Nine of Wands, guys. It does look like a rough period of time, Capricorns. Then that will be the lesson you're about to learn. It will be Judgment card, and the next one, it will be the energies you got. And this is the Six of Wands. So let's first look in these three cards. Three of Swords. Typical card, guys, of disappointment, but I don't believe that this is going to be a disappointment. Well, it's going to be a disappointment, but not true failure. This is a time of revelations. Okay, this will be a 2 weeks period of time of where you are about to assimilate certain truths. You are about to realize that you aren't as successful as you can be. You are about to realize that you could have been in a better place, and you have been bereft either by life or either by someone else. And that will hurt you, guys. That will hurt you big time. Probably you will be bereft by a woman here with seeing this card, and you have to be very careful. If you're about to leave your job, you may be rather deprived from your last payment. Okay, so you have to be careful about that, but that's not the point here. The point is that you are about to realize that you are being betrayed, and you are being betrayed by a friend. Very, very unpleasant thing is what you need to deal with, Capricorns. Why is that? Why this is happening is the question. The answer to that is because this woman, or this person rather, they realize that they can do things without you. I mean, they don't need you anymore. It was all about materialism. It was all about benefit. It was not about friendship, although they made you an impression that is about friendship. It's not about loyalty here, guys. It's all about business. And in business, there are no loyalties. Business, love and law, and war, there are no rules. And you're about to see that. And you're about to learn that. Now, relationship-wise, this is also about revelations. This is also about realizing truths. Okay? These truths are gonna hurt you. And I think that they have nothing to do with your partner here. These truths are about personal truths, you know. These truths are about personal insights, personal analyzation, personal realization. And things you're about to realize, you're not going to like them. So, your intentions here should be, with the Nine of Wands, neither into your career or into your relationship, you should not act upon the first feeling, okay? You should not act upon the first revelations. You should not act upon the first thought. You have to be rather patient. You have to be rather meticulous. You have to be rather calculative. And you need to pretend like nothing is happening. So at the end of the day, you can pull out the best and the most beneficial decision you can reach, because right now, for what does it seem, the decision will do nothing more, Capricorns, but actually harden your situation of stagnation and of depriving, and you will not end up in any benefits. So Capricorns, that will be a difficult period of time of you the next couple of weeks, because you're not gonna be able to live with yourself for a certain reason, for the things or for the things you can't do, or for the things you did. The bottom line is, guys, is that it was all about the money. It was all about who gets more. It was not personal. Okay. Lesson you're about to learn. That will be. Excuse me, guys. I gotta answer that. Just 1 second. Okay, that's okay. So the lesson you are about to learn is Judgment card, and that shows that you need to acquire different perspective in these kind of situations. Usually that is, as I said, a big insight of that next time something similar happens, you will be prepared for it. I mean, you will be rather more sober in your reactions. So it's kind of like whatever happens to you in the next couple of weeks is going to happen to you for the first time, and it's normal that you will not be able to find the accurate measures to deal with it, accurate reactions to it. That being said, you may do some stupid things. That's why you need to be patient, guys. That's why you need to first observe, so you can find the accuracy of your actions. And the energies, those are the Six of Wands. And this card actually saves your day, because regardless of how it's gonna go, at the end up ends up positive for you. At the end you will in reality win something. It could be personal recognition, it could be a certain rewards, helping hand, money, promotion, new job, new relationship, you name it. But the fact that you were not fair in the past, or you may not be fair in the past, it remains, and it all comes to that: can you live with it? Okay, so my advice for you Capricorns, as far as it goes into your career or into your relationship, whatever you do in the next couple of weeks, guys, you have to be able to live with it afterwards, because it's not gonna go away. I mean, it will be reminded to you at any occasion possible. And now let me shuffle and we can go to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, first card, that will be the Ten of Pentacles. So we are starting very positive. The second card, that will be the Ten of Cups, and the third card is going to be the the Knight, excuse me, of Pentacles. So we do have the topic, the struggle, the intentions. Okay, the lesson, that will be the Fool, and the energies, that will be the Knight of Wands. So let's go with the first three. Guys, this is a typical situation where one is not happy of what they have achieved, although their achievements are great. Okay, so it's all about personal perspective. I can't explain it other way around. I mean, in your relationship, you need to count your blessings, guys, and into your career, you need to count your blessings, because the things are gonna get better and the things are gonna improve. It is just you need to realize that if now situation is bad, it could have been worse. Yeah, and if situation now is awesome, it could have been bad. So this is the whole point of the next 2 weeks period of time, talking about your career. Even if the unfoldment of your project is not according to your expectations, in other words, you have expected much more of that, you need to remember that there could have been no unfoldment whatsoever. How you can actually regain back control or place back the situation on tracks is that you invest more time into it and more efforts into it with the Knight of Pentacles. So that being said, if into your career and into your projects, Aquarius, things aren't going as well as you're expecting them to go, then it's obvious and kind of crucial that you need to invest more. So, because the more time invest and the more efforts invest into these things, the more they will start satisfying you. Problem here, as I see one big problem, is that you will have a limited resources. So if you are not happy with anything that is going on around you guys, then you are screwed, because you cannot invest into everything. And that's why you need to find your thing, what you want to invest, where you have to start first. And this is a typical situation where you need to do one thing at a time. Talking about your relationship with these 3 cards, yeah, you will kind of have the comfort in your relationship. You will have the sense of security. You will have the sense of that you are not being oppressed. You will have the sense of material comfort as well, that your partner is taking care for you and these kind of stuff. But what you are going to lack is the sense of love. It is simply in the next couple of weeks, guys, simply that kind of sense will vanish. And you may start wondering what the hell I am doing here, and that's sad. This is very, very sad. And your intentions, guys, should be again to do one thing at a time. Rather, don't try to analyze the full picture here. I mean, try with the small steps to answer to your questions. What are you for this person, or rather what this person that you are with is for you. And I think that at the end of the day, you're gonna find enough reasons not to make something stupid like breaking your relationships. And the lesson that you need to learn here, Aquarius, that will be the Fool card. And with the Fool card, this lesson shows that there is always life after some. What I mean is that, let's say that your relationship ends here in the next couple of weeks. There is a life without the person you were with. If you see that in your job you have no productivity whatsoever and you decide to quit it, there is a life without your job as well. I mean, you will kind of be taught from this 2 weeks period of time that one thing ends, other thing starts. It's a constant turnover, but there will be no empty spot in your schedule. There will be no empty spot into your routine. When one relationship goes away, another follows soon after. And same thing goes for your career. So in other words, guys, you should not feel regret for anything that comes and goes, because it's a part of a turnover. Everything comes and goes. This is the lesson you need to learn. And on that note, the energies are going to make you experience multiple things. The energies are going to make you experience a lot of enterprises and a lot of mixed emotions as well, a lot of passion, so you can find your own personal direction. So you can define what are you doing in your relationship, what are you doing into your career, how you can make the things in such way so they can make you happier, how you can structure your, let's say, your routine or your relationship or your career dwellings, so you can feel better for them. You can feel better for your improvement into your career, because these cards are showing that, as I said, regardless of how big progress you are going to make, you will not be able to feel the emotional satisfaction of it. And that will ruin the whole point of the progress. So guys, that being said, the advice is that you need to kind of try to find the satisfaction and the emotions and the happiness in the small things that come out of that big thing you are achieving or you do have on your disposal. And let me shuffle now, guys, and last but not least, we are going to Pisces. Hello, Karen. The High Priestess, Pisces, is the topic of your full moon. Then we do have the King of Wands, which will be the struggle you will have. And then we do have the Moon, your intentions. Then that will be the Seven of Pentacles, which is the lesson you need to learn. And the Judgment card is going to be your energies, guys. A lot of judgments as energies, this reading. So what will be the topic is that someone is going to make you, or is going to try to make you do something you don't want to do. Or rather, something is going to put you up a prohibition upon an activity you want to take a participation in. Okay, that will be the whole point of the next couple of weeks period of time. What you can't do about it. Be surreptitious. Do it anyway, but without making any noise about it, you know, without ringing the bell about it. And basically that's that. Into your relationship, that could be your father, guys, who is strongly against you being with your partner, and he may do whatever it takes to separate you, especially if this is just about to happen, a relationship. It could not be your father, it could be a good friend of yours, or it could be a good friend of your partner. But there is my point is that there is a person that stands against the relationship, and they actually have the influence to alter the outcome. That being said, you have to be very secretive. As I said, you need to be very surreptitious, and you need to do the things that you and your partner are planning to do anyway, but without making this person aware of your intentions, of your plans, and of your of your interests. Only thing that you need to make them believe in is that you are scampering around without any reason whatsoever. Career-wise, that could be your boss trying to use his influence upon you to make you do something you believe you know, and you are correct about it, that it is wrong, and they are putting you a prohibition to do what you think is gonna work out. Okay, so for what I can say here, we do have a black deal going on, a black deal which you need to execute but you are unaware of. Your boss or a colleague of yours or whatever have a certain arrangements that does not include you, but unfortunately you have to be the one to do them or to make the requirements for them. Okay, so this is why this will be the reason if things aren't happening for you in the next couple of weeks, Pisces. It is because there is person whom your progress, or not your progress, it's not about your progress here, not at all. It is about the actions you do are going to interfere with their agenda and are going to interfere with their plans, and that's why they are going to try to divert you by making you do different things, or they will set a limitation, a prohibition upon your ability to act, depending on how high in the hierarchy these people are placed. So the lesson you're about to learn here with the Seven of Pentacles is that sometimes exposure is not the best possible approach. Sometimes seemingly doing nothing and fooling the other person is the best thing to be done. I mean, you need guys to realize that right now glaring with activity is not the best way you can end up benefit. Actually, this time you need to play the fool in the picture. This time you need to play the one who doesn't know and understand anything. And what do they know about the big deals? You know, what do they know about I don't know about success. I mean, what do you know about success? You need to pretend that you do nothing. You need to pretend as a stupid person who doesn't know what it's all about. But in reality, you do. And all this game is so you can at the end fool your adversary, as I said. And now we are going to the last card of the readings today. That will be the Judgment, which is your energy. And as we said about the Judgment as an energy, guys, that will be something significant that is happening. The Judgment as an energies are energies swirling you in a way you are supposed to go. Okay, so for what does it seem, you are Pisces in a verge of going on a wrong path here, and the universe itself needs to put a finger in your deeds so it can kind of set you into a right direction. Okay, so in other words, you can also see it from a positive perspective, and the positive perspective of that is that at the end of the day you will get away with whatever difficulty or whatever error you do in the next couple of weeks. And on top of that, guys, it does look like that you are about to find a way around it. That was the expression I was searching for. Whatever happens in your life in the next couple of weeks, these energies are going to push you to the way around it. Okay, they are going to push you to walk on the way around it. So in other words, you will be able to overcome your difficulties with no problem whatsoever. The only problem here will be your exposure, Pisces, and how much enemies you are going to win on your behalf with glaring upon with the glares that you may set upon your situations and upon your fortune as well. So that was the horoscope for the full moon in Aries, guys, October 6th, 2017. And I hope that you find it helpful. And if you do, please like and share the video so it can help to more people. If you happen to want a private reading with me, guys, you can purchase one at www.tarotpredictions.net, which is also written here in the post. And as soon as the purchase is through, we are going to schedule an appropriate time for both of us. So with that being said, I wish you Godspeed with the next couple of weeks, and we're going to see each other, guys, next time. Bye.